I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call Lamar's City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, April 1st to order. Roll call, please.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Wick.
Here.
Sturgeon.
Present.
Bruns.
Here.
Pick.
Here.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It is April 1st, so don't fall for any April Fools. There will not be any in this meeting that I'm confident.
Not that you're aware of.
First off, general discussion, citizens. Any citizens here to address the council? Doesn't look like it, so we'll close that part of the meeting. Moving on to the thumbs up award. I'll start on my right. Brad.
How about a thumbs up to Jordan's Meat Market? They're opening up today, and in addition to that, all of the new business on Central and all around town.
Good. Pass. Brad.
Clark? Tonight just walked in, so thumbs up to the street department. Just an excellent job of snow removal this year. The 2 times you went out, you didn't really need to. But about wastewater? You did a good job.
Hardly used any salt.
No.
And didn't even mess up my retaining wall this year. That was nice.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Okay. Thumbs up to the Galen Ball that occurred this last weekend, and there was also a fundraiser for Lamar's Community Athletic Boosters. I wasn't able to attend, but appeared they raised very good money for those organizations. And not a thumbs up, but a best wishes on prom weekend this coming weekend, and hoping for a safe and good weekend for both schools in our community. So, Steve.
Thumbs up again for Jordan's Meat Market, and they're opening today. Just heard that they just cut it down to a ribbon cutting now at 4:30 and not the grand bash that they were going to have. So, but thumbs up to them.
Yeah, thumbs up to Jordan's. Also to Rich and the rest of the water department for a good water quality report for 2024. And Jared Vanderloo retiring from Lamar's Fire Rescue after 14 years.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, moving on to consent items. Under the consent items, we have an approval of the March 18, 2025 regular minutes, a list of bills for period ending 3/31/25, Consumer Confidence Report, Lamar's Water Department, certified list of qualified civil service promotional examinees, renewal of the liquor license for Bachers Habitué, a new 5-day liquor license to Bachers, two temporary premise transfers to Habitué, and law enforcement mutual aid agreement.
I'd make a motion we accept consent items 1 through 6.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to action items. D1, Downtown Traffic Signal Modernization Project. Stanley Consultants have prepared plans for the Downtown Traffic Signal Modernization Project. Stanley Consultants, Inc. did a review of the existing downtown traffic signal configurations and equipment, as well as performed a signal warrant analysis on the 3 intersections in the summer of 2024. Much of the equipment is over 40 years old. The Public Safety Committee recommended and Council approved moving forward with the replacement of the traffic signal equipment in September of 2024. Administration recommends Council proceed to public hearing. The proposed schedule: April 15, 2025 public hearing, May 7, 2025 bid opening at 3 p.m., May 20, 2025 award, November 30, 2025 completion. The estimate for the project is $865,000 to be funded with local option sales tax dollars.
There's an estimate in there for you to look at. There is 2 estimates. try to remember because I didn't write it down here, but the alternate is to, well, let's go back. The base bid, it will touch all 3 intersections. With everything being replaced on Plymouth Street intersections, but only a few items. So it's traffic heads.
Everything but the poles.
Yeah, so the heads, the pedestrian stuff on the First Street one, but the bid alternate is to add replacement of everything at First also. So if we accept the alternate when these bids come in, all 3 intersections will get completely replaced. Okay.
Do we want to offer that alternate? I mean, we want them all replaced, right? I mean, the difference isn't,
Well, the only thing is,
I mean-
like Scott said, the alternate, the poles at First Street and Central aren't in the worst shape. I mean, not like the ones on Plymouth Street.
yeah, but we don't want to replace them in 5 years.
Well, that's what we, yeah, that's why it's an alternate.
Okay,
It's
Well-
just, if the price comes in okay, then everything will just get replaced.
Well, we'll get 2 bids, the replacement of the
Right,
rank.
right.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discuss it for another day.
Are these just standard timed lights, or is there something
Yeah.
new and special about them?
It'll be the same as what it is, but the passage time on Plymouth Street should be extended longer, which is gonna hold up your north and south a little bit longer, does that make sense? So your highway traffic, because of the complaints and the semis and the stuff trying to get through both lights, that should
Yeah.
be extended a little longer.
Okay.
Oh, the parades.
And they'll be synced such that they won't ever get out of sync, right?
No, they will be, hooked up with fiber, so they will be direct connect, so they will not be, they will be in time right on.
Good.
They should never be out of time, yeah, I shouldn't say that. They should be.
There isn't a parade override feature like Brad mentioned? Or a mayor's coming?
I was just gonna say, or
Override.
I get a remote.
No.
Motion to establish April 15, 2025 at 12 p.m. for a public hearing on plan specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for the downtown traffic signal modernization project, and to establish May 7, 2025 at 3 p.m. to receive and open bids, with said bids considered at the May 2025 meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion here?
Why are we using lost? I'm gonna say road use is beat up too bad.
Yeah, I actually have it kind of split between lost and road use on the budget,
So it's,
just for that reason.
okay,
So it could come out either one,
all right, I didn't know.
or combination there.
Thank you.
And just another comment before you vote. To address the reasoning, probably for keeping an alternate in there. If you remember back when we first hired Stanley and they gave a price, the price was about $250,000 per intersection, $750,000. So the lesser number is just under the 750.
Right.
I mean, so just to do them all, it's going to be more than the 750. According to their estimate. It all depends on how bids come in.
Okay. And we can look at all that during the hearing too, because are the age of all 3 poles the same?
Yeah, exact same.
So why is one,
Because of the
What the DOT uses.
road salt, the liquid salt, you know. the-
what they're throwing at it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Stuff
just
like-
takes more, yeah. well,
I just don't wanna deal with one down the road, you know, so that's just it. Okay, thanks, sorry.
No? No.
If a low bid comes in without the alternate, we don't take it. Is that right? I mean, they have to bid both.
And then we'll have to bid both.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action item D2, 2025 Lamar's Industrial Park Rail Extension Project, award of contract. Council set this date to consider bids received from the 2025 Lamar's Industrial Park Rail Extension Project. A total of 6 bids were received and opened on March 25, 2025 at 10 a.m. The bid tab is attached. The project consists of extending the rail across 27th Street Southwest and the entire 500-foot depth of Lamar's Industrial Park 4th Edition. Proposed schedule: April 1, 2025 award, October 3, 2025 completion. Administration and ISG recommend council award the project to the lowest bidder. The estimate for the project was $504,245 to be reimbursed by TIF.
If you see there, Holstein excavator was the lowest at $349,527, so considerably less than the estimate. And all the numbers in Ari from ISG that quoted. If you have questions, he double checked the numbers. Did have a conversation with Holstein, asking specifically why it was so low. They're comfortable with their number.
That's correct.
So,
Hi.
Ari,
Must be a representative from ISG?
that's correct.
All right.
Ari Hoekstra, civil engineer with ISG. Yeah, helped design the project and worked with Jason and Mark on letting it and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'd say pretty good representation of bidders for the project type. Rail gets a little specific, so it's a less selection than like what we would have saw in Industrial Park 4th Edition where we had 14 bidders. So that's why you would see probably a decrease there. But yeah, really good bids, came right in at estimate for a majority of it, some low, some high. Holstein's number is abnormally low. Talking to them, there was some confusion with them and the rail subcontractor on scopes of work, and so there was a bit of missed scope there, but asked them if they felt good about their number, and they said they did. So they have to be a little bit careful with change orders if there's any on the project, just making sure they're honest with those. It's something we always look out for, but don't expect any change orders at this point or anything like that. So feel good about them. We've worked with them in the past. Good quality work on their end. So we'll work diligently with them to make sure it gets done on time, on schedule, on budget.
Are they from around the area?
Edgerton, Minnesota is their home base, but they perform work all over South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa is where we see a bulk of their work.
Okay. Mostly rail stuff?
No, they would be a typical street and utility contractor. The rail subcontractor that they have hired for this is Ellison Eastern out of Sioux Falls. They primarily do a lot of work for Knife River, which is a big quarry out of Sioux Falls, but they also do construction independently, kind of on their own as work allows.
Okay.
the recent project they did in town for us was the 12th Street PCC overlay.
Okay.
From Central to 6th Ave.
Sure.
They did that.
And that was satisfactory process and everything? Good.
That was paving, I mean, it's a different crew.
Right.
That was their paving crew, this will be.
Yeah.
That was Holstein or the sub that did this?
Holstein.
I suppose there's a lot heavier checks on compaction on a project like this, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We'll be pretty diligent working with a geotechnical engineer to get all that testing and below the railway, yep. So they'll have, rework the subgrade, and they'll have a layer of sub-ballast and ballast, which is that rock that you typically see underneath the rail, and then place the rail on top of that, and that all gets tested and evaluated.
Right. Well, bids went the right direction, that's for sure.
As long as you're sure that everything they has included.
Yep, no, everything's included, and quantities feel are good. Didn't have much questions from bidders on that, so feel pretty good going forward. And yeah, as you see, the value's pretty good with that number too. So feel good about it. They got quality. They're a quality contractor and have quality subcontractors along with them. So feel good about where things are at on this one.
Motion adopting resolution 2513, awarding the contract for 2025 Lamar's Industrial Park Rail Extension Project to Holstein Excavating out of Edgerton, Minnesota, in the amount of $349,527.80.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Wick,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Hick,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much for
Thanks,
coming.
Larry.
Action item D3, special use permit, Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless has submitted a building permit to construct a new cell tower at 660 8th Street Southwest. Chapter 154 of the Lamar's Code of Ordinances states that council is the body designated to grant wireless telecommunications facilities. Attached are some documents depicting the new tower and the site. The property is located in an I-1 light industrial district. Height restrictions in that district is 85 feet. The overall height of the proposed tower is 109 feet. Approval of exceedances in height of towers is designated to the council by Chapter 167 of the Lamar's Code of Ordinances. The proposed tower will replace the existing approximate 48-foot tower. Administration recommends council approve the special use permit to Verizon Wireless contingent on FAA approval.
All right, a couple things, I screwed up some numbers in here. Height restriction in I-1 is 45 feet, not 85. And the current tower they have there is 85 feet and not 48.
You're way off.
Yeah. And then in the recommendation, we did get confirmation that the FAA did approve their application,
Okay.
so they don't have an issue with it. And everybody can tell where it's at from aerial.
That's the same location as the existing tower.
Yep.
Yeah, I drove by and looked at it. I can't imagine a taller one is gonna affect the neighbors or anything. It's
What
a
did you
little
think?
skinny
Did you
tower.
think it was 48 or 85?
I thought you might be off, but I'm not a good But I don't think the extra height's, gonna create something that the neighbors are gonna be opposed to.
It isn't an obnoxious blinking red light at night or anything, is it?
Getting it taller up might be a good
I'm
idea.
assuming it's probably gonna have a red
Yeah.
light on it.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to
It
have some
probably
better
does.
cell reception in that area, so I'll make a motion to approve a special use permit for a 109-foot telecommunication tower at 668th Street Southwest to Verizon Wireless.
Second.
Can I ask one other question? Has the school been spoken about, since this is basically gonna be in the backyard of the new elementary building? Do you know if they contacted them at all, if there's a concern? I mean, I know there's one at Cluckhone now, but I'm just.
It'll have the same footprint as the one that's there. I mean, it's not gonna take it.
There's already a tower there.
Yeah, except that it's
Yeah.
25 feet taller, or 30
Mhm.
feet, so.
To answer that directly, no. Neither was anybody else in that area.
But they were notified of the meeting and that this was on the agenda, so.
Well,
I mean, just like general
They're
public.
not
was.
required to be notified individually.
No. Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item D4, at the Park Regulations Ordinance. At the March 18, 2025 meeting, council approved the first reading amending the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 46, Park Regulations. The proposed change will include that portion of the plywood trail from Lamar's to Merrill as part of the city's park facilities with the 28E agreement the city has with the Plywood Trail Foundation, where the city of Lamar's will maintain and repair said portion. It is imperative that the city's rules apply to the Plywood Trail. Administration recommends council approve the second reading.
My only question is to Mr. Murphy. So this, I don't even know how to phrase it. By creating an ordinance on something that's outside of our city limits, is that then sort of public notice that we're assuming ownership?
No.
Okay, I mean, that's all I wanna know. Okay.
Motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 995, amending chapter 46 of Lamar's Code of Ordinances.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Bruns,
Yes.
Hick,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yep.
Wick,
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Yes. Motion to waive the third reading of ordinance number 995, amending chapter 46 of Lamar's Code of Ordinances.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion on that. Roll call, please.
Bruns,
Yes.
Hick,
Yes.
Goodchild,
No.
Wick,
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 995, amending chapter 46 of Lamar's Code of Ordinances on its second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Bruns,
Yes.
Hick,
Yes.
Goodchild,
Yes.
Wick,
Yes.
Sturgeon.
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on to D5, fire rescue personnel wages. The Lamar City Employees Bargaining Unit has completed the process for removing firefighter/paramedics from the included positions covered by the current bargaining agreement. The fire chief also brought forward a desire for the city to review all fire rescue personnel wages with the goal of making them more comparable with state averages. Meetings were held with administration, the administration committee, and fire rescue staff to discuss wage adjustments and the creation of a stepped pay scale. Attached is a stepped pay scale that administration and fire rescue staff have agreed to. If approved, the new wages will begin with the new budget on July 1, 2025. Wages for full-time hourly fire rescue personnel will need to be negotiated each year, similar to the police department. Recommendation is that the administration committee, and the public safety committee recommend full council approval of the new fire rescue wages and stepped pay scale.